Hey everybody, we're here for a new episode of the show that has yet to be named. Today we're doing a special commemorative, is that what you would call it? Episode.
Retrospective, maybe?
Retrospective, rememberationing.
Sure. Something like
Richard
that.
Donner. The D
Richard
on my
Donner.
hat stands for Dick.
Dick Donner. Double D's.
Double D. So he's a
Yeah.
guy. He's a director, a very famous director that kind of got lost. Well, he passed away recently. We should mention that. So that's
On July the 5th of this year.
He knows dates. That's what he's here for.
That's
He's
what
that
I'm here
guy.
for. I'm here to provide the facts.
They call him Calendar Man. I'm Polka Dot Guy.
The polka dot guy.
I don't-
20 days has September, April, June, or 30 days. I don't even know how many days September has.
Hey, he's
There
not a
we go.
good
See?
calendar. He's
Not a
he's
good
all right.
calendar.
So
It's more like Google Calendar.
yeah, he's a director.
Mhm.
I would say he's very popular, but I
Yeah,
would say
But underappreciated.
underappreciated, especially. A lot of people don't even know his work or that he did those things. But his catalog is extremely strong. Like when I was going through it, I couldn't believe how strong it was.
Yeah.
But he hasn't really done a movie since what, like Lethal Weapon 4? I think maybe he did one more after that.
Yeah. I believe the Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut, was his last official movie.
I mean, he didn't really do that.
Right. But you know what I mean? That
Well, he was
technically-
there.
Yeah, it was his cut of the film, right? So technically, that was his last official movie.
All right, we'll give it to him.
We'll give it to him. But I think you're right, though. I think Lethal Weapon 4 was his last film.
I mean, we do have the internet, so.
Yes, which I'm looking up right now.
Oh, he's doing it for me. Okay, sweet guy.
That's why I'm the facts guy.
I'm the calendar man.
All right. So, according to his Wikipedia page, stuff that we should have researched earlier.
I mean, I have
16 Blocks was actually his last movie.
16
the Bruce
Blocks.
Willis.
You're correct. Good
Yes.
movie.
Yes, it was. Good movie for it to be your last movie.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean,
Yeah.
you could go through his entire catalog, like I said, and realistically, there's only 3 bad movies. I mean, he has 2 of them that are like on the rocks, but then the other like 16 movies are all good.
Yeah, he's done, and he's directed a lot of, like in the 60s and 70s, he directed a lot of popular TV shows too.
Yeah, he was a TV guy for a long time.
Yeah. In the 60s and 70s. And probably my generation would remember like shows like he directed episodes of Gilligan Island, Twilight Zone, episodes of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Like he's directed, and Kojak. Like, so he's directed a lot of TV before he started into film.
This is off topic.
Mhm.
Okay. But The Man from U.N.C.L.E., when you hear that title, doesn't it immediately make you think it's a show about like aliens?
Yes and no. I think of like more family focused. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I don't know.
Oh, I guess. Like, but I mean,
Or
like,
like
it sounds like,
guy
he
from-
came from a planet called Uncle.
Almost like Perfect Strangers, the Isle of Mipos.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, let's talk.
But it
about
was more of a spy. It was more of a spy.
Yeah, it was. It's a
like
spy. It's like a group spy thing.
kind of like more like not Get Smart. What was the other one?
It's kind of like
Avengers.
Get Smart.
Avengers, maybe.
It's like Avengers and Get Smart crossed over.
Not
kind of.
MCU Avengers. We're talking like Emma Peel and
Yeah, and
way
the
back,
other
way
guy.
befah your time.
Emma Peel,
kids.
the other guy. I never remember his name, but I definitely know.
I just remember
definitely
Emma
know
Peel. Emma Peel. That's all I remember.
Yeah, also Uma Thurman role that she looked very good in.
Yes,
I'll
that's right.
give her
That was
that.
Uma Thurman in that film. I think all his TV shows that he's directed have become movies, except Gilligan's Island.
There's surprisingly no Gilligan's Island movie.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't tried that yet, because they did The Man from U.N.C.L.E. with Henry Cavill.
Well, hold on. Gilligan's Island is definitely a big enough property worldwide that you could make a remake of it, because you did Brady Bunch.
Hell, you did Fantasy Island.
It's what I'm saying. You could do Partridge Family, for God's sake. Like, I'm surprised the amount of big IPs that they've never actually bothered to do when they're doing other ones that suck.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, because that Fantasy Island movie was terrible.
Fantasy Island is with the guy from
The Hispanic guy, the Latino guy. I can't remember his name. He was an Ant-Man, the funny guy. He's John Leguizamo, but not John Leguizamo. Michael
Michael
Pena.
Pena. Yeah, but the original one, Fantasy Island, is with the little guy from
Tattoo was his name in the show.
What's the movie he's from? James Bond, Gold Man with the Golden Gun.
Man with the Golden Gun, yes.
There's a pretty good movie with him that was direct to HBO with Peter Dinklage. It's called My Dinner with Herb.
Yes, which was his biography or something. Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Peter Dinklage played him.
Topic.
Yeah, about Richard Donner, right?
I mean, this is how you know we've gone full podcast in this episode. I'd like to do more episodes like this.
These are fun.
Prepare for this in the future. I mean, where we kind of have a topic, but we can't stay on it. Okay, but Richard Donner.
Yes, going back to our topic at hand.
We're 8 subjects away from Richard Donner right now. 8 degrees of separation.
6 degrees of separation. How does Richard Donner connect to Kevin Bacon now?
You want to know how? Because he loves bacon.
There you go.
Kevin Bacon also loves bacon.
Oh, I can tell you right away. It's 1 degree of separation. He was the EP on The Lost Boys. Was Kevin Bacon in The Lost Boys? No.
Oh, no, Kevin Bacon wasn't in The Lost Boys.
No, he's not in The Lost Boys. But Kiefer Sutherland was.
Kiefer Sutherland was in The Lost Boys, and he was in a movie probably with Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon, right?
All right, we've gone too far. First and foremost, this movie that everyone thinks is directed by Steven Spielberg, which is The Goonies, and it is
my favorite. That's my favorite Donner film.
That's my favorite one. So I'm basically going through my favorites list, and I mean, we'll just talk about that as we go through
instead of a top 5 kind of thing.
Yeah, we're just going to talk about the movies, and I think Goonies is revolutionary in terms of kids movies because it broke out of the box. Like if you watch it now, you can't even like picture in your head how this was a movie for kids.
Yeah, starring a young Thanos.
Yeah, and it's still Thanos. It has a loaded cast.
Yeah,
but it holds up today to the point where, as adults, I can watch this and find enjoyment out of it. That's not just like me remembering my childhood. Like it's actually a pretty well.
It's a really good movie. Spielberg was the executive producer on that one, though, right?
Yeah, I think it was Ambient Entertainment is the one that
were. Like you don't see as many like. Back in the 80s, there was a lot of like kids in danger type of films, and you don't see that anymore.
No, okay, so it was between this probably, I would say, are like the ones that push the limit the farthest. This and Monster Squad.
Yes, Monster Squad was really good.
Squad
underrated film.
It is, and it has 2 differences to this. There's more swearing in Monster Squad, and the kids are much younger in Monster Squad, which is kind of like. I don't know. It's okay. Monster Squad is underrated, but still, when you watch it, you're like, okay, how in any way was this a kids movie?
Interesting fact: the Wolfman is Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
You just blew my mind. That's why he's the calendar man.
That's why. See.
Shit.
And speaking of Dick Donner, I got Superman here in the background. Where is he? There.
You touch him. Just slightly touch him.
There he is.
Oh yeah, right there. That's the spot. He's there. Okay, so
Goonies is like I was saying, it was like almost like an Indiana Jones type of adventure, Tomb Raider type of adventure.
And it's funny, we talked about this, so we're gonna go. I'm just gonna go off topic.
Yeah.
If this episode has to be broken up into 19 parts, then that's how it's gonna happen. Okay. After this era, these kind of adventure movies don't exist anymore, where there's a MacGuffin to find. We talked about this before, but and it just doesn't happen. You had Indiana Jones, you had the Romancing the Stone movies, you had Goonies, you had a couple little ones in the 80s, and then after that, you basically got
was it King Solomon's Mines?
Yeah, you got
Alan
National
Quartermain.
Treasure.
Yeah,
and then you got Jumanji, the Next Level movies.
That's the closest thing to it, which aren't bad films. I like.
No, they're not. Even the other Jumanji kind of has like that.
Yeah,
I think a good adventure movie should have an aspect of you're trying to find something. There's a bad guy trying to find the same thing. You have a fun time along the way where there's jokes and action, but there's also like a kind of a little bit of a horror element that's like you're scared to see what's going to be there. Yeah,
like a suspense element,
and that's all those movies do
and
that
something
really
fun
well.
for the whole family.
Yeah,
like it's a great, like Goonies is a great family movie. Kids can watch it with their mom and dad and have to.
Yes, Goonies is, but definitely not Monster Squad.
No,
Never watch Monster Squad with your kids.
No. That was definitely not a kids movie. I don't know why that was billed as a kids movie in the 80s.
It's weird too, because that aside, because I never discovered that until I didn't discover Monster Squad until I was maybe like 20, so like in the mid 2000s.
Right.
But Goonies was like, since I was a kid, repeat on TV. Like it never stopped playing. And I
own the VHS.
I don't have cable anymore. Okay, so like, but anytime I'm somewhere, or we have access to it, anytime I can watch Goonies, I'm just gonna watch it. Like before, anytime I went by TBS and Goonies was on, I'm staying on Goonies until it's over.
Yeah.
So
Goonies. Let's talk about the music video, the Cyndi Lauper Goonies.
Didn't she do like more than one song on the soundtrack?
But I just remember it had nothing to do with the Goonies because it had a whole bunch of WWE stars at the time. It had the Iron Sheik and Roddy Piper. But
she was in WWE at that time. Or WWF.
That was during around the time of WrestleMania 1.
Yeah.
Where she was in Wendy Richter's corner against the Fabulous Moolah.
And she did 2 matches, I think, I don't know if it was 2 WrestleManias.
I think she managed. I think she managed. I don't think she actually wrestled, but
okay, but she was there for 2 matches. Not on the same night. I remember hearing about that. But okay. So, what was the name of the song?
Goonies Never Die or something like that.
I am music. Okay, look, you think I'm bad with names of things?
I'm gonna look that up now.
This is why I didn't want to do a music video with
music episode.
I'm already bad enough with names of things coming to movies, which I know back and front. I cannot remember. People tell me, "Oh, you know what song I love by Led Zeppelin?" And
Goonies are good enough.
The
Goonies are good enough.
The Goonies are good enough. You could have told me that, and I wouldn't have known what you were talking about. I know the song. We're not going to sing it because we don't have.
And Bob's Burgers did a great parody.
Bob's Burgers does the best parodies of everything. Okay.
And even Cyndi Lauper sang the parody song. You got a taffy butt.
Did she?
Yeah.
That was her?
That was actually her.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
I keep bringing the facts.
Just enough
Every time
facts,
I should say that, you should have facts.
I'm just going to just mark my face over with facts so that every time you talk, you're just telling facts. Okay, so we're leaving this movie.
Yeah, Goonies. Go watch it if you haven't watched it.
Immediately to my second favorite Richard Donner movie, which is my favorite Christmas movie that exists, which is
Same here.
Mm-hmm. Like there's nothing that Bill Murray can do bad. Like there's movies he could be in that suck, but he's never bad. Was it
Zombieland?
Yeah, Bill Murray is Bill Murray. Like Osmosis Jones.
Osmosis Jones. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Oh my God, with David Hyde Pierce and Chris Rock.
Yeah, it's like, how did you pull all these like very non-children actors into a kids movie? That's just the one that gets me a bit, right?
Yeah. But I think even then, like late 90s, early 2000s, they were kind of garnering animated films to more of an adult audience too, I guess.
I guess Toy Story kind of changed the direction of Pixar in general.
Yeah, because Shrek, for example, it's a kids movie, but then again, there's subtle humor in there that kids will not understand.
Oh, for sure.
But back to Scrooged.
It's a great Christmas movie. Bill Murray. We talked about this the other day.
Yeah, great retelling of the Charles Dickens story.
Yeah,
with a twist to it.
Okay, it's been told 100 times, and there's a few good ones. Like we're not going to sit here and BS it.
I just got to say, The Muppets is fantastic.
Muppets is great. Off the top of my head, my brain doesn't work good, but there's about 3 or 4 adaptations that are good.
Yeah, and this is one of them.
This is my favorite.
Yeah.
Period.com.
I have to watch Scrooged every Christmas.
Me too.
Christmas. Yeah.
Scrooged and Home Alone 1 and 2 are my must watches of Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, and back then too, you had Bill Murray basically at the height of his career, right when he was taken off. You have Karen Allen, hot off Indiana Jones. Who else is in the film? Yeah, Bobcat Goldthwait.
That was the only one I remembered last time. Yeah. And that one and Indiana Jones lady. That was
and you had John Glover in the film too, as the young California yuppie that's trying to take Bill Murray's job.
Yeah, and you have what's his name that drives the friggin' taxi?
Buster Poindexter, singer from the New York Dolls. Facts.
Facts guy. See, that's why he's here. But yeah, I mean, a solid Christmas movie. I don't know. Okay, this is
And
okay.
I forgot her name. She's also in. She was in the Luke Cage TV series as Mariah Stokes. She was his assistant.
Oh crap!
The African American lady there. I forgot her name. But
I know exactly who you're talking about too.
yeah.
Her son is the one that's on the set.
Yes, he's the Tiny Tim of the film.
Yeah. And that when Bill Murray picks him up, everyone thinks that he's gonna kill the kid.
Yeah. Such a good movie.
Okay,
Go watch
I don't
Scrooge.
remember. We'll look it up later. Facts guy's not all the way there today.
I'm not all the way there yet.
But okay, so I have a question for you. I need you to settle this.
Absolutely.
This blood feud that occurred where Caps refused to solve it for us for some reason. So we had the whole episode about Christmas movies that like evolved into an argument about what was better, a better movie in general.
Okay.
The Grinch with Jim Carrey or Home Alone?
Oh, Home Alone all the way.
Putty, you suck. Putty.
Why?
Putty said that not only is Grinch a better Christmas movie, it's better than Home Alone as a movie.
Oh, no. Putty, I'm sorry. I love you, man, but that's wrong.
Yeah, and then this is my argument point. Like, I'm not going to get into this because he's not here to defend himself, but we'll let him do it one day. But we brought this up multiple times, and then my brother even backed him, which didn't make sense because my brother agreed with me still. So, but I said, nostalgia aside, when I'm not looking at this from like rose-tinted glasses or whatever you call it, it's the cast and the jokes and the overall movie. It's written by John Hughes. Like, it's
John
such a
Hughes,
good
directed
movie.
by Chris Columbus.
Yeah, it's such a good movie. Like, just a good movie alone.
Even if it didn't take place, even if it wasn't a Christmas movie, the concept is great.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, John Candy's in it. It's already better. He's only in it for like 2 minutes. Like, doesn't matter. He's in the movie.
It's John Candy,
and he's in it for quite a bit.
Like the Bill something, I forgot, the one who plays his dad.
Yeah, I never remember that guy's name.
It's Bill, but he passed away a few years ago too.
He did.
And you have Catherine O'Hara in that film. Home Alone, just all around, like Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern.
Yeah, Joe Pesci coming off friggin' Goodfellas, literally coming off Goodfellas, made Home Alone.
Does this kids movie, right? Like, it's you can't compare Home Alone to Jim
Get out of
Carrey.
here. All right, so Putty, you lose.
Sorry,
we'll come back another day. So
maybe in the Fatal 4-Way.
My next two movies here, like, do you have a third place? What was your second place if you had to? Do you have an actual list?
I actually have I rank them, but I agree with you. 1 and 2 is agreed.
Okay, so on 3 and 4, I have Lethal Weapon 2 and then Lethal Weapon 1.
See, whereas no, I have just Lethal Weapon 1 on mine.
Okay,
because that was the original.
I mean, I ranked every single movie. Yeah. So I mean,
okay, I didn't, but I.
So let's talk about the first two right now.
Sure.
So the reason I have 2 above 1 is because 2 took what 1 did. It continued on it, and it didn't lose. Like, the 3rd and 4th one are still good, but they progressively lose steam. The second one still had just as much the gravitas. It was still like the buddy factor was still there, the darkness was still there, and you introduced Joe Pesci into the mix now. And to me, that's where it got like, okay, now it's like this is how Lethal Weapon that we know.
Now they're both the straight men, where Joe Pesci's like the punchline, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And they go on the ice at the hockey game, and like, it's just a good movie. Wait, is that this one when they go on the ice in the hockey game? I think so.
Is that 3?
3 is when Rene Russo gets introduced.
Okay, yeah, no, then it wasn't 3. It was probably 2.
3 is when they go to they end up at the end at the construction site.
Yeah. Basically the same ending of Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, but but 1 and 2 for sure. Like, it had everything. Those films had action, had comedy. They had just the right amount of that dark element where it's like, Mel Gibson's suicidal, and like Danny Glover is like wondering what he's going to do next because he's getting too old for this shit.
He's been too old for this shit for a long time.
But yeah, he did Predator 2 after that.
I mean, Predator 2 is a super underrated movie.
Yes, it is. But and it just, those two played so well off each other as well. Like, the whole, like, it's oil and water trying to mesh together, and that's what made watching the two of them enjoyable on screen.
Yeah, and it just worked.
Yeah. that's what the show lacked. The chemistry, like, because there was a Lethal Weapon. I don't know if it's still on, but the Lethal Weapon
No,
TV series, it's over, right? Just the two characters don't have that same chemistry Mel Gibson and Danny Glover had.
So yeah, and I mean,
and then they kill off the same character as Mel Gibson and they bring in somebody else, and then it's not Lethal Weapon anymore.
This is the thing with that show. So Anthony convinced me to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So I started watching it, and it starts getting pretty good. And then season 2, it's like pretty solid. I don't know if season 3 still has both of them. I think it does.
No, season 3 I think has the Mel Gibson character gone.
Okay, so anyways,
halfway through that season or something.
Damon Wayans apparently got him fired because allegedly he said like racist things to him. But in the end, we found out that Damon Wayans was a big diva and just didn't like the guy stealing the limelight and got him fired from the show. He got fired from the show. And then what were we going to have Lethal Weapon without Riggs or Murtaugh? Like, how does that make sense?
It doesn't make sense. Exactly. So that's probably what ended up killing the show in the long run. But yeah, it's the remakes of the 80s shows. Just go watch the shows from the 80s.
Well, let's go all the way through Lethal Weapon. So
okay.
Part 1 is darker.
Yep.
I think part 2 is slightly better because that's where it found its true like essence of what Lethal Weapon is. That was it.
It found its rhythm in Lethal Weapon 2.
3 is the comedy starts to take more of a front seat. The villain's less. I think in 3 it's the same villain as it's the girl. What's her name? The one that's the bad guy in Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Oh, the blonde girl there.
That was married to Flava Flav or whatever.
Yes. Brigitte Nielsen.
Yeah. And then it kind of got like they were bank robbers or something. It was very similar to the plot of Beverly Hills Cop 2. Cop.
Except it wasn't an art heist or something.
No. And anyways, though, it became like it got kind of weird.
Yeah. And then 4 with Chris Rock, that really 4 was with Chris Rock.
4, if you watch it as a comedy that has action, like if you think of it like Rush Hour, it's pretty okay because it has Jet Li at the end, and like
it's not a bad movie, but it's the weakest of the 4.
You could see that it's definitely trying to be like Rush Hour.
Yeah, because 4 came out around the same time, right?
It came out right after the first Rush Hour.
Yeah.
So you could tell that it's totally playing for. And the fact that they got Jet Li, which at that time is what everyone considered the opposite of Jackie Chan. He was
we can't get Chris Tucker. Let's get Chris Rock.
Exactly. Does that not make perfect sense to what's happening?
It took like you said, it took the focus away from Riggs and Murtaugh in that one because now you're focusing on Rock and Lee, right?
Yeah, and it tried to kind of introduce like a new wave so that they could fade them out, I guess. But then they just nobody wanted back in. And I mean, I don't hate it as much as a lot of people do. I kind of enjoy the 4th one.
No, they're not bad. Like they're not bad films. They're still take it for what it is. And
I think Chris Rock and Joe Pesci like together is so good. When they're talking about the phones, my grandmother had the big ass phone for the rotary down. What? Oh, I fucked up. Gotta start again.
Oh my god, I actually had one of those phones.
So did
I bet your grandma still has it.
No, we got rid of it. Her phone now has buttons that are like this big, and she presses it with like her whole hand. It's hilarious.
Oh my god. I need to see that. And you know
the funny part is her vision is actually amazing, so it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, she has really good visions.
And
she doesn't wear glasses.
No.
Does she wear? No, she doesn't wear glasses.
She can see and hear better than I can.
This woman's almost 90. And
but meanwhile she has a phone with buttons like this. But anyways, when they're talking about when he's talking like, they said I called Afghanistan. I never called Afghanistan. They fuck you with the phone bills. I mean, no, those two playing off each other was great.
Yeah,
but the movie didn't know where to go after that.
No, but like you said, it took the focus away from Glover and Gibson, and that's at that point, it's not a Lethal Weapon movie.
No, and I mean,
and safe to say now 5 is not happening.
Apparently, what Cap said that he checked it after we talked about it, and it said that it's not happening anymore.
Okay,
but I could have swore they had the script and everything ready to go. I mean, do you do this knowing you're Mel Gibson and you can direct a good movie?
That's what I was gonna say because Mel Gibson, he's directed some Ransom was really.
Wouldn't you do like he's done a few good movies? Okay,
yeah, I really liked Ransom. Ransom was.
Didn't he direct Braveheart?
Yeah, Braveheart. He won an Oscar for Braveheart.
He's directed good movies. Even Passion of the Christ was at least like a well-directed movie, regardless of how you feel about the movie.
Yeah.
Um,
Apocalyptical.
Oh, I don't. But it's not. People still like that movie.
Yeah.
And okay, but you know what I mean. I don't think. If you're him, and this is like the end of your career, this is like your most thing that both of you guys are remembered for.
Yeah.
And Joe Pesci wants to be back with it.
He wants to come out of retirement again for this.
And
one.
you can get Chris Rock, and you can get Rene Russo. If these people are willing to do it, I mean, you can pull this off. And it's kind of like your last like
hurrah,
but you're paying your respects to this guy that you loved.
Yeah, who pretty much launched their careers.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like that's you. I feel like you should give it a shot. I mean, I'm not going to be upset if you don't.
The worst thing it can be is like Coming to America, the second one.
I don't even think you could pull it off that bad.
No.
That movie, the reason that movie's off, we're going off topic again, but the reason that movie seemed like it was so bad is because there was no emphasis on the writing making any sense. They tried to push one storyline only, and that was that the daughter was going to be king.
Yeah.
And
getting choked up here.
And that they were going to introduce every single black comedian that exists now, so that if they have to further the story, someone else can take over.
Yeah, agreed. It never went anywhere, and it didn't have the sense of like the character finding themselves like Eddie Murphy did in the first Coming to America, right? He went to America to find out who he was. You know what I mean? Like to see if he can live to sow his wild oats, whatever you want to call it.
You know what they should have done? They should have took the son and the mother. Well, it didn't even have to be the mother. They could have just took the son and put him into like an actual African city, not just this one palace place that they're locked down. Like let him go
kind of do like what they did with like what they did with Crocodile Dundee and Crocodile Dundee 2. The first one, he goes to New York, and the second one, she goes to Australia.
Exactly. And you can let him experience what it's like to be in an African city, and then it would have been a whole different.
Yeah. Like create a fictional city in Zamunda, right? Like,
yeah, there's got to be a city.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like
Wakanda? I don't know.
Yeah. Instead, you brought the movie back to New York.
Yeah, which didn't make sense.
I don't know.
Yeah, off topic.
Yeah. Okay, so Superman. Let's just talk about Superman. That's got to be somewhere on my list next.
Yeah, it's on my list as well. Superman, the first good superhero movie.
It launched all superhero movies realistically.
Yeah, it started that genre.
It also ruined that genre.
Yes,
for a long time
with Superman 4. It ruined
3, 4, Supergirl.
Oh yeah, that's right. Superman versus the computer and Richard Pryor.
Supergirl is actually the kind of bad that's worth watching.
Yes, it is. Peter O'Toole. Who else is in that one?
I don't recommend watching 2 or 3. It has Faye Dunaway, I think, is the bad guy.
Is it Faye Dunaway her mother? Is it Faye Dunaway Kara's mother?
I'm pretty sure she's the bad guy.
Maybe. Peter O'Toole was like her mentor.
You talk, and I'll pretend like I'm talking.
Yeah, no worries. But who else? It had a very young. He's one of the guys at the beginning of the movie. I think the one that tries to peek up her skirt. I forgot his name. Famous actor.
Okay, well, Mia Farrow was her mom.
Oh, Mia Farrow. Okay.
Helen Slater was Supergirl. Faye Dunaway was the bad guy.
That's right.
And I'm looking through this. I don't know if I see anybody else.
There's a big name you'll probably recognize that is in there.
I'm mother freaking looking. Peter Cook.
Peter Cook. I don't know about Peter Cook.
Well, he's in.
I know Peter O'Toole is.
Yeah, Peter O'Toole's also in it. I'm looking. I don't freaking see it, guy.
Was it Matt Frewer?
No, I don't know. It's just too many names there. We're not going to get into this. We're not even talking about the right movie.
Let's not talk about Supergirl. But Superman,
Richard Donner cut.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The first director's cut of a film, probably.
I mean, the first director's cut that we know about that existed.
Yeah,
and it also took X amount of years before. What is it, like 30 years it took before we even got
30 years? I think it was 1980, and it came out in 06.
Did it come out in 06?
Pretty sure it was 06.
Oh, it's okay. We don't need to look for. Actually, I can just click it. I can just click this. What is a fact guy? 2006. You're correct.
Yeah. See, I was right. Facts.
Red Bull.
But yeah, right, gives you wings. My brother used to work for them.
Wow, really?
But so 2000, so 25 years, basically 25 years for the director's cut to come out because footage was missing, right? They couldn't find footage or they had to reconstruct footage. Marlon Brando died, so they couldn't refilm some scenes.
They smartly reused things and used cut scenes from the first movie to construct it.
But that's the thing. Like Superman 1 and 2 were supposed to be watched back to back.
Well, they directly take place.
Tie into each other. Yeah.
And he filmed them both at the exact same time. Yeah. They were filming 1 and 2 at the same time.
Yeah. So, makes sense.
I mean, I saw a lot of things today, actually funny that we said that, about Chris Reeves talking and saying that when they switched directors, I can't, who was the guy that came on? Do you remember?
No, that I don't remember.
But anyways, he didn't know anything that was going on. And he would say, "What do you want me to do now?" And he'd be like, "Just do whatever you were doing before." And I don't get it. You're the director. You're supposed to tell me what to do.
Yeah. Very much akin to the last Fantastic film with Josh Trank in that. Fan-4-Stick, yeah. Fraggle Stick car.
Fraggle Stick car.
But I mean, there's a Bad Santa reference for you.
Where is this going?
But I mean, same type of it was the same type of idea with the last Fantastic Four with I forgot who was it. Josh Trank that was replaced by someone else, or
he was, and I don't know who replaced him. Not a clue.
The guy who did Divergent, I think.
Yeah, I'm imagining Divergent is one of those teen movies. Where they run through a maze.
The Maze Run.
That's the Maze Runner.
That's the Maze Runner. But yeah, it's those type. Divergent is those type of films like Mockingjay, Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
Yeah, those type of tween type of
they made Twilight. And they made Twilight, and then every single writer was like, "I'm gonna write the same thing."
Yeah, and
then all of those got made into movies. We made a bunch of incompetent writers billionaires by accident.
Yep. Yeah. That's very much the thing.
Great.
But yeah, where were we on that one?
Superman. I mean, okay, Superman 1 is great. Superman 2 is the best Superman movie. Richard Donner cut.
The Donner cut, though, not the
regular version.
Agreed.
We're jumping off this. We're gonna talk about quickly The Omen. Great horror movie.
One of my favorite horror movies of all time.
I forgot that he directed this.
That was, I think, his directorial debut in film.
I don't know. Was it?
I think so. Check the facts.
No.
I think that's his film debut.
No. No way. That's 1976.
Yeah.
He has Lola and
X-13 or something.
All of his worst 3 movies were before that.
Yeah. Okay. So it was his first good movie.
Yes. Okay. Well, we'll allow that. But I mean, I watched this not too long ago, not even knowing that he was the director until he died, and I looked up movies by him, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
He did The Omen. Stars Gregory Peck. One of his final films.
Great Peck.
Oscar winner. Yeah. So.
I mean,
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, Mockingbird.
Tequila Mockingbird, right? It's a bar in Mexico. Tequila Mockingbird.
Sunrise.
That was a good movie, Tequila Sunrise.
Isn't that Mel Gibson?
Yeah, was it? I don't remember.
Is that Mel Gibson and Goldie Hawn? Tequila Sunrise?
Not Goldie Hawn. No, it's the other blonde lady. Melanie Griffith. Antonio Banderas' wife. Yes. She was in Tequila Sunrise. Also a great song by the Eagles.
We're going too deep here. And no more facts.
And it's Conan's finishing move in WCW.
Is it?
Yes, it was the Tequila Sunrise.
All of this from To Kill a Mockingbird. Wait. Okay, so we're done here. I'm gonna let you talk about Maverick.
Maverick, remake of a TV series in I think it was the 60s.
I believe so.
Yeah. Another Mel Gibson and what's his another Mel Gibson and Richard Donner film together. It wasn't a bad movie. I actually enjoyed it. I think James Garner was in it too.
Yeah, you got Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster, yeah.
Who else is here? Alfred Molina's in it. Wow, I didn't even know. I don't remember that.
Yeah. I haven't watched that movie in years, but that was one of those movies that like critically got panned. Like they didn't like it when it came out, but it wasn't that bad of a film.
It's just a silly action movie.
It's a silly action comedy. That's exactly what it was.
The stuff with the Native Americans might not like
it won't fly today,
now,
right?
But I mean, if you watch it and you just understand that it's a comedy and that they're not like it's not that, it's pretty lighthearted.
Yeah, it's not
evil.
No, it's more along the lines of like he did with like Lethal Weapon 3 and 4, very lighthearted, not as dark. So
I mean, it's a fun movie.
Yeah, go watch Maverick. Maverick wasn't that bad.
I mean, okay, so we'll just hop through a couple here.
Yeah. He did Radio Flyer.
Radio Flyer, that's a good one, and that's what's his name's early
Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood. I was gonna say Tobey Maguire, and I would have been wrong.
Yeah, it's the same guy. Tobey Maguire, Elijah
Wood.
They
look the same. Guy. Lorraine Bracco.
Lorraine Bracco, yes. Was that before or after Goodfellas as well?
Let me see the year. 92. So after.
After Goodfellas, okay.
I mean, that's a pretty good movie. Lady Hawk, also a good movie.
Yeah.
Inside Moves is a pretty good movie. I had that on my top 10 for him. Yeah, you don't know Inside Moves?
I forgot about that one. I haven't thought about that movie in years.
It's kind of dark. It's kind of friggin' dark. But Assassins
was a really Antonio Banderas.
That's a stupid, fun action movie. Yeah.
What's that line? I know you love my body.
You know what? And this movie is completely forgotten in time.
It is.
Nobody.
Was it one of Banderas' earlier films? Wasn't it? Like
I don't know if it's earlier. That was in the 90s, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before he did Zorro for sure.
This is like right around Zorro time, I think, or like a little bit earlier.
Right before.
And when you remember both of their careers, Stallone and him, you don't think of Assassins.
No, you don't even think that they were in a movie together.
You don't even think Richard Donner did Assassins. Like, it's a really strange movie, but it is. If you like cheesy action movies, it's totally worth watching.
Yeah,
it's so like Stallone. It's so 90s Stallone.
Yes, a la Cliffhanger or
yeah. 16 blocks.
Yeah, with Bruce Willis.
I saw this in theaters.
Okay.
I remember I liked it. I bought it from Blockbuster, previously viewed.
Nice.
And I remember liking this movie. I think it has Mos Def. I think he's
Mos Def is the co-star.
Mos Def, Bruce Willis, David Morse. I mean, it's a pretty like 90s.
It's a good cast. Yeah.
It's a 90s feeling action movie, but I think it's in the 2000s. 2006, we said. Yeah. We said that already. It's very 90s feeling, but it's kind of like fun because they're constantly looking for the next thing to get to where they're going.
Yeah.
Which it kind of has that like adventure-y vibe, but it's almost like dark.
Almost like a treasure hunt. Not a treasure hunt, but what's a scavenger hunt.
Yeah, exactly. And it is a little bit dark.
It does
have like some it does have a little buddy copness to it.
Yeah.
It does have some good action.
One thing we could say Richard Donner did well was the buddy cop or the buddy genre.
He understood how to put two guys together and make it funny.
Yeah.
Well, it could actually anybody, because he kind of does it again with Maverick. It's with Mel Gibson and Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster, yeah.
They play off each other really well.
And so does, and like I said, James Garner too in that film. They play really well off each other. So yeah, he understood how the dynamic between two characters can really carry a film.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing with, I wouldn't even say Superman and Luthor. It was more Luthor and Otis. The dynamic between those two was fantastic, right?
And definitely not when his nephew comes or whatever.
No.
John Cryer.
John Cryer.
Oh, I don't want to talk about it.
Unless we talk about that, the better. But yeah, R.I.P. Dick Donner.
Okay, hold on. I got
go for it.
Conspiracy theory.
I actually never watched that one.
So I saw it. I remember, like, I don't know who it was. Maybe it was my dad or my mom. They really wanted to go watch this. I guess because Mel Gibson was really popular at the time.
Right.
And like I remember watching it, I like renting it and watching it with them, and like not understanding what the hell was going on. I probably was probably like 11 or 12.
Yeah, you're probably too young to
But
understand that
after
one.
rewatching it, it's not bad. I mean, it's Julia Roberts and Mel Gibson, and it's like a big government conspiracy theory, and no one believes them, and then people start looking for them, and it's not bad. It's watchable.
You know what? I'll go back and watch that. We could also talk some of the stuff that he produced. He produced Any Given Sunday, and he produced the first X-Men film.
The first Sex Men, because that's what you said.
Yes,
you cut out and you said Sex Men.
Awesome. I don't know about that film, but I know he produced X-Men.
Oh,
with the first X-Men film with Magneto.
Did he really?
His name? Yep, it was the Donner production company. Him and his wife formed the production company together, and it was their production company. It was.
Did they have anything else?
They did Lost Boys, and the ones I remember were Lost Boys, Any Given Sunday, and X-Men.
Who directed Lost Boys?
Oh, Free Willy. They produced Free Willy. They were the executive producer on Free Willy.
Is Joel Schumacher the one that made Lost Boys?
Yes, it was. Joel Schumacher.
Hashtag release the Schumacher cut.
Yes, please.
And hashtag restore the Burdenverse. All right.
Yes, I agree with that. But yeah, Joel Schumacher, he took a lot of shit for those two Batman films. Schumacher was not a bad director.
No, especially his stuff pre-Batman Forever, like Lost Boys specifically. Yeah. I mean, he has others. My brain doesn't work.
I can't think.
We're not. Yeah, should we?
But we're not talking about Schumacher.
We're not going to go. We'll do a Schumacher episode on another day. R.I.P. I'll raise the Schumacher cut. But yeah, wow, I didn't know any of that. Yeah, that's good to know. And then I'll just list off the rest of his.
Sure.
You have The Toy with Richard Pryor, which was you have Timeline, which is like a watchable movie with Paul Walker. That I hate Paul Walker.
Yeah, that's why I never watched it.
And then X-15, Salt and Pepper, and Lola are very bad. Like, just recommended if you believe in anything of 2021 culture. Do not watch Lola because it will very much upset you.
Yes,
it's about a really old man and a very young girl, and it's based on a true story.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
So I think the person who wrote it is literally the person that the story is about.
Was it Roman Polanski? Was it?
No, we don't talk about Roman Polanski. But yeah, I mean, guy had a great career.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies for you guys to go out and watch of his.
Yeah, there's at least
that hold up today.
There's 10 movies that are absolutely really good movies, and then if you want to watch Lethal Weapon 4, I also recommend that.
But watch The Omen for sure. Probably one of the greatest horror movies of all time. Go watch all the Lethal Weapon films. Go watch Goonies if you have not watched Goonies.
Watch Superman 1 and 2, but the Richard Donner cut.
Yeah, but the Richard, exactly. Yeah. And Scrooged.
Watch Scrooged.
Watch Scrooged, even if it's not Christmas.
We almost same timed that. It's Bill Murray. You can watch Bill Murray at any time of the year.
Yes. Bill Murray's right for.
He's so good.
Well, I mean, you watch Bill Murray at Christmas. You watch Bill Murray on Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
What else?
When else do you watch Bill Murray? I'm trying to think of other holiday movies that Bill Murray is potentially in. Was he in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? Because then it could be a Thanksgiving movie.
No, but a good summer movie is Caddyshack. He was in that one.
Yeah, he definitely caught a few gophers.
Right?
Was it a gopher? Was it a groundhog?
It was a gopher.
Wouldn't it be ironic if it was a groundhog?
It would have been. Like, Hoxatani Phil.
Oh, it would have been a coincidence. Sorry.
That's a coincidence. Yeah.
Don't excuse my English.
We speak English good.
No English. Yeah. Yeah. I don't have anything else. I don't have anything else. Richard Donner.
Yeah.
Double D. Dick Donner.
Dick Donner.
The Dickster.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for watching.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Let us know what your favorite Richard Donner movie is in the comments. I'd like to know. You know, and holla back. Oh yeah, his stuff will be down there.
Yeah, I'm just like I said, I'm a regular now. You know me by now.
He basically works here for free. We said that already. He's the coffee guy.
Yeah, I work here for free.
Actually, we work for him. So, all right, get away. Everyone, go home.